You can and will make a lot of mistakes with your coffee shop, but none of them will stick with you quite like a mediocre name. It's easy to come up with a list of names you like, but it's hard to come up with one that you love. Every time you pick up the phone, every time you introduce your brand, unless you've really put the thing to bed, there's always that nagging twinge in the back of your mind. It's difficult to name something so close to your heart. You've also got an ever-expanding list of tasks before launch. The temptation to just pick something is strong, but you must resist. No name is perfect, but you will feel it snap into place when it's right. I've named a lot of things over the years: businesses, products, children, and of course, my own coffee shop, which is where this story begins. The year is 2022, and I am the last partner at the table for a brand new coffee shop in Augusta. The stage is already set, the location selected, and the dream is well on its way. In fact, the name was already on paperwork, and that name was Garden City Coffee. This is a good name. It references our city. It ties in the dream in all of our hearts to create a space where people grow together. It makes sense. But it's an expected choice, and it's also a phrase shared by other entities in town. It is a good name. It is not a great name, and for that, I hate it. My partners graciously agreed to revisit the name conversation. Out come the sticky notes, the 2 a.m. texts, and debates. Half of us would fall in love with an idea, somebody would express some misgivings, and we're back to the drawing board. Rinse and repeat 100 times. Pressure mounted to make a decision, and at this point we've compiled a hefty list of strong contenders. We conduct a blind vote with all the partner families to help us narrow down the options. As I open each response, I find this increasing excitement and anxiety and fear and joy and all this in this sweaty ball, like a gambler waiting for that last winning number, because one name showed up on every single ballot. Call it what you like. I call it divine intervention. While gratifying, it would be a disservice to share the name with you without first showing the boring work that it took to get there. The lightning of inspiration cannot be controlled, but it can be summoned. The unsexy truth is this: great names come from a great recipe. Fortunately, recipes can be followed, and the perfect name for your coffee shop only has to cost as much as a piece of paper and a pen. To aid in your journey, I've created a workbook PDF that you can print out and use like a blacksmith's fire to burn away the good enoughs and galvanize the one true name. What must be true? All partners have to love the name. We want to capture the heart behind the shop, this concept of the well-being of others and creating a great third space. And it can be shortened to a single word. Hey, do you want to meet at blank? What should it feel like? Neighborly, not impressive or pretentious or self-important. We want to balance a masculine-feminine deal, and we want it to feel like a good time. What's off limits? Anything crowded, meaning like there's a lot of other similarly named things out there in the world. Or confusing names that require context or backstory or a big explanation to understand. Or anything that's awkward to say or spell. With these parameters in mind, we enter into the mind map, where you write down things that are compelling, like nouns basically, that you can draw a picture of and start branching off of there. What are other things connected to that idea? Sometimes these things will cross-pollinate and you'll have one idea that touches several other ideas, or something that really just jumps out and feels like the main one to go chase and build around. From there, some people may have a great name after just completing that step, but a lot of times you'll get a bunch of things that are close, but not quite it. And here's where you walk away, whether it's just you doing this or your team doing this, but you set aside time and write down 10 new names each day. At this point, your proverbial field is full of lightning rods, and inspiration will strike. We're not sure when, but you're destined for success. So you just repeat this step without pressure, and once you feel good about something, move on to the next step. The name we landed on was Trellis Coffee Bar. This is not even a new name. They actually already had it in a list of previous names before I ever showed up at the table. And everybody loves it, so it checks off the boxes here. It's got a good mouth feel. It's easy enough to spell. It invites questions and curiosity. A lot of people know what a trellis is. Not everybody does. But it really captures the heart of what we were trying to do in Harrisburg. We wanted to create a trellis, a place where things grow, like the structure where different lives could come in and kind of intermingle and everybody grows together. And this is how Trellis Coffee Bar came to be our name. I hope you get the chance to experience the resolution and joy of locking in the right name. It truly is a surreal feeling, and I'm on cloud nine every time it happens. And we're not chasing perfection. We're looking for the right name for your unique situation. Not everybody's going to love it, but it's got to be right for you. This recipe has worked for me repeatedly. In fact, cold brews was almost named cold juice. Fortunately, my good buddy Ross, actually one of the other partners at Trellis, threw this one out in a conversation, and it passed all of the requirements that I had already written for that project instantaneously. So bonus here, the idea doesn't even have to come from your mind, but the requirements do. Again, lightning strikes when you're prepared. I'd love to invest in your journey and give you this workbook absolutely free. You can download the Name Your Coffee Shop workbook at coldbrews.com. I'll also post a link down below. Until next time, adios.